Hey guys, this is Shawn from Ziptask.com. We want to offer you a special promo, 20 bucks free for using Ziptask. The promo code is Shoestring, S-H-O-E-S-T-R-I-N-G, Shoestring. So that'll get you 20 bucks on your Ziptask account. Come check us out at Ziptask.com. Thanks. My name is Shawn Livermore. I'm CEO of Ziptask.com. I'll give you an idea of Ziptask. It is the world's fastest and easiest way to outsource work. Ziptask is outsourcing made easy. You simply drag and drop your files, you tell us what you want to get done, and you click submit, and Ziptask takes care of the rest. We send you, within minutes, not to exceed estimate on what this job would cost, what sort of technologies are required, what sort of skill set we'll need to hire for that, and then you can either approve the estimate and the job will start, or you'll reject the estimate and we'll cancel the whole thing. And so if you approve the estimate, we go out and find and hire the right freelancer in our network, and then we oversee the work and make sure it gets done promptly and within the budget specified. And then when the work is completed, we perform a quality check on the job. Most of the time, 90% of the time, we're able to do that. Sometimes when it's really intricate and specific, we hand that back to you, just making sure you are aware that quality check is not possible. But 80-20 rule applies here. So we get the quality check back to you. You receive the completed files along with the PDF receipt, and your job's done. And so that, compared to the hassle of using any other freelance platform out there where you have to interview, you have to parse through an average of 90 candidates for a job, and it's quite a painful process. And so Ziptask's ideal situation is to make it easier for the customer. The whole goal of the product and the experience is to make it effortless and seamless and frictionless. And so we're excited about that, and we hope you check out Ziptask.com. Elance has processed over $500 million through their platform, and they have been by far ahead of most of the different competitors in the market. Odesk had started, I believe, in 2003, so they've had about 9 years to build out their platform, and although they haven't processed maybe quite as much as Elance, I think they're poised to pass them fairly quickly here. They're on a trajectory that should. So in terms of volume of gross dollars that have passed through the platform, I think Elance is neck and neck with Odesk. But then you have quantity of freelancer, and I think freelancer.com down in Australia has the most with 3.1 million. So, and I think they did that partially by acquisition strategy. They've done some M&A to grow and partner up and purchase and whatnot. It's kind of to be determined. We've got a multi-threaded strategy. The first is to partner to grow our contractor base to have sufficient resources to scale to unlimited numbers of volume. And the second thread would be to grow our own, what we call the Ziptask Freelancer Network. And so they can apply, and we vet them ourselves, and we validate them, and we interview them. We've built some technology surrounding that and some intellectual property that allows us to onboard fairly quickly. Yeah. And we feel pretty good about the way we're approaching it, but there's always room for improvement, and I think partnering is definitely the quickest way to the top. So we look at speed, but we also look at building out good technology that does make it easier for the freelancer, because I think there are quite a few challenges to solve in the onboarding process, to make the freelancer happy that they're engaged fairly quickly, they're moving quickly, they're being respected, that there's a level of familiarity with what should be asked, what should not be asked. A PHP guy should not have to answer too many grammatical questions. Someone who's doing, however, English literary translations, they should be really heavily vetted in terms of their grammatical and spelling and all those sort of things. So, aside from us at the top tier level, there really isn't anything of merit. I think TaskRabbit has a nice mobile app, but we're not really directly competing with TaskRabbit. Odesk had a mobile app, but according to their tech team members, when I was there visiting their CEO and their executive team, they had to pull it. There were some things they wanted to fix, or I'm not sure exactly what the background was, but I'm sure they'll rectify it quickly. They've got a pretty solid team up there. I would say Elance. I think they do have a mobile app. The thing that we differentiate, we're about to refresh our mobile app actually in the next couple of weeks here with about 20 new pieces. But what differentiates us is that you can go 80 miles an hour on the freeway and you can outsource a job to Ziptask. And by the time you get to your destination, you would have already approved an estimate and the job might even be delivered to you in your inbox, right? So the experience of connecting to your Dropbox account while changing lanes in the freeway, that's a whole new experience for people. And then on top of that, layering a platform of outsourcing that is optimized is even better. So we feel like we've built what is a Zynga on a Facebook. You know, we're a platform on a platform, whereas in the past, all you had was really that one way to get to a freelancer, and you had to kind of follow the marching orders of the platform.
Yeah.
We're trying to build something that's entirely fresh for the customer and that is built for the customer from the customer perspective from the ground up, as opposed to, you know, programmer-led design strategy. You know, there has to be a real fresh look at these things from scratch, and Ziptask was an attempt to do just that. You know, it's interesting. I'm always looking at the jobs. We have jobs coming in from customers that are repeat customers, and we look at those very carefully because those are the ones we want to increase. And a lot of our repeat customers are the innovators, the early adopters on the bell curve. They're the ones who are the inspirational members of the business or the organization, who are out front, you know, quite a bit out front. And they pull and push people into the new technology and new widgets and new apps. And so they come to us with jobs like, you know, SEO type work, optimization work, content development, content creation, spinning different pieces of content, creative pieces in terms of graphic design and logo work. And so it's kind of a web strategy / tactical, hands-on, gritty, web-based, creative web work, if you will.
Yeah.
A lot of that is like integrating their WordPress blog with MailChimp, or their Tumblr blog with, you know, a tweet deck or some sort of tweeting tool. Going gathering content for tweets, helping them get set up on social media strategies. All of that has become very hot, and the people who are out front are leveraging us as a tool to use those tools. So it's layer after layer after layer, but it all comes down to one funnel, and we think we have the best funnel because we allow you to just, you know, within 20 seconds or less, even sometimes, I mean, I clocked it one time, we were able to submit a job by copy and paste within 4.2 seconds. So
speed test.
Yeah, you know, we're trying to bring it down to a micron kind of Apple-ish, you know, level. I have a friend who actually was a former vice president over at Apple Hardware Division, and he was telling me stories about how they would be scrutinizing the microns. You know, the sizes were so minute, and that it was, you know, kind of a mind-boggling conversation at times, and how small they were really stressing over. Of course, we all know Apple is really challenging the norms and pressing the envelope in all areas, but in specifically in terms of perfectionism, I think with Ziptask, we're trying to get the speed of submission and the speed of estimate, right? Get that estimate back to the customer as soon as humanly possible. Let it be as accurate as possible. And the speed of completion. And of course, accuracy and quality are always important as well, but the speed of completion is incredibly important, especially if they're paying, you know, per minute or per hour or whatnot. They want to make sure that there's no waste happening, right? That everything is seamless, that nothing is being dropped, that what they submitted will be completed, and there's a level of trust that we're asking for. So we're getting to that point where we're fine-tuning it. We feel like in the next 3 to 6 months, we will have plenty of traction. We're already ramping up now, even in the last few weeks. We feel like over the next 3 to 6 months, it will be a no-brainer, that there won't be an issue. You know, money talks as well. I think, though, traction is always the best indicator, and our freelancer network is growing. You know, we're signing up people every day. We haven't really even advertised, so I think the response from the freelancers has been even more encouraging. That even if we don't partner, we have literally thousands of folks that we just need to parse through and with our technology, move in and perform the assessment of their skill set and move them from a candidate to an onboarded freelancer rapidly. And so as we develop the tools to do that rapidly and efficiently and effectively, in parallel to the partnering strategy, supply is ubiquitous. It's almost irrelevant because I can scale up to hundreds of thousands of freelancers, but the real question is, how are you pulling in customers? How are you, social media demand strategies and those sort of things? So it's really never been a problem pulling in the freelancer. I think leveraging tools like payment tools and fraud prevention and those sort of things, that's kind of been a great leveraging point with partnering. Basics, I mean, we're looking at conferences. We're down here in Silicon Beach Fest, fun time. We went to Vegas and did some mingling with some very VIPs, and there's quite a few events that you can participate in. I think online is always more effective because you're at the edge of a mouse. I mean, you're one click away from a customer, right? So we want to be very wise about how we spend every online dollar as well. I think customer acquisition for some of our competitors was about $20 per customer. So we're looking at our customer acquisition costs and trying to really nail that down and get organized on that regard, and then continue on towards larger rounds of financing. But our marketing spend is to be determined, and it's in line with a typical startup's marketing spend. We're at the angel investment seed stage round. We've raised a couple $100,000 from the founders, including myself, and then a couple $100,000 from someone who came out of the Maverick Angels here in Southern California, and then he came on to join as CFO of the company. And so we are looking at the expansion of that round for slightly more, and then at the end of the year, perhaps larger rounds. But depending on how things go, they say money's green and everybody has it. I think that can be true, but we're looking at strategic partnerships with some of the more position firms, those who have experience with the specific market niche, and perhaps different partnership opportunities through the board of directors of some of these groups. So it doesn't matter who you talk to, but I think traction will define what opportunities open up to you. So we're not exempt from that. We have to continuously focus on traction, continuously focus on onboarding customers and improving the experience. It's kind of both and, right? You can't sacrifice one for the other. It has to be both build a long-term business and short-term traction. So the average job is about 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and it consists of a Word document or a PowerPoint file or a Photoshop graphic design piece. I can't say that one trumps the other because they're about even.
Yeah.
We've typically, our charge is roughly $24 an hour. We're playing with the price point, so that may go down a little bit, but 39 cents a minute if you break it down into minutes. The largest job that we've had come in, the smallest job was about $1. Someone sent in a question. They said, how do you blah, blah, blah? I forgot what it was. And one of our assessment team members, who normally provides an estimate, he just answered the question, sent it back. And I think it took us like less than a couple minutes to get the exact phraseology of the answer. But anyway, it cost like $1.17. And he was happy, and then he blogged about it, and so he became one of our testimonials. But the largest project was an iPad application someone sent in. That hasn't been completed yet, but at least we know that we're getting in large-scale software projects randomly.
Yeah.
But it's the outlier. I mean, the more, by far, by an order of magnitude, I mean, the more common would be Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Photoshop, and we're niched on that market. We're really focused on the small office job because, for some of these people, they do 10 of those types of pieces a day, and for them, it really does make sense to push those 10 pieces to us, and by the end of the day, or some of them early next morning, all those jobs are completed, whereas they had that whole 8 hours to move on to other more important value-added, functions of their professional life. I don't think anything's set in stone. I think we're a pretty fluid bunch, and who knows? Our team is focused intensely on the desktop and mobile experiences, and bringing that to a place of refinement that is pretty high end, where you can drag a folder into your Ziptask drop zone. If you download the Windows client today, you can drag and drop files, you can specify instructions, you can flip a switch and have them call or text you in different types of minor settings. But we want it to get even deeper. We believe that eventually it'll lead to a place where your Dropbox, your Evernote, any Google Drive document, anything in the cloud, anything on any device can be synced up into Ziptask, and there can be real-time work taking place. You can chat directly. Right now, our iPhone app allows you to chat directly with whoever's working on your project and ask them questions, provide responses. They can ask for more time. You can deny or accept that. You can receive the estimate, approve or reject the estimate. There's pretty much anything you need to do. But there's additional features that we're receiving. Our customers are asking for more, and it's exciting. When a customer calls them and says, "Oh my gosh, I love Ziptask. What if you guys had another button that said this? What if you guys did this?" And I'm just scribbling all this down as they're calling in on speakerphone. It's flat. I think it's probably the best part of running a tech company is talking to customers, getting them to weigh in on the product experience, and hearing them out, because sometimes, there was only one Steve Jobs. You can't always masterpiece and mastermind everything from the beginning and from the origin. Sometimes you have to pivot again and again, and we're not exempt from that either. So we're pivoting, we're moving, we're shaking, we're refining, we're rounding off the rough edges, we're producing a more qualified, quantified experience that customers are happy about and talk to their friends and family about. We're getting a lot of referrals. And so I think that'll be the focus for the next 6 months. It'll be the best in the world at dragging and dropping Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Photoshop files into an experience, typing in what you want to get out of the project, and hitting submit and having it go away. Having it literally go away. And that no one else can do it like Ziptask can do it. That's really our focus.